Hi, everybody. This is Amy Overton from Thompson Middle School. And this summer, Liz Dolan from Redling and I were asked by the district to do about 15 hours of curriculum work that would support middle school social studies teachers during the upcoming challenging school year. Those materials will be posted on Schoology, and the purpose of this video is to give you an overview of what those resources are and how to find them. So as we get into Schoology, you're going to want to go to groups because that's where the resources will be posted. And I'm imagining you'll just see a group for your grade level, but who knows? The 7th and 8th grade structure in those of resources in those groups looks really similar, except for one minor difference that I'll get into when we go through the folders. So I'm going to just look at 7th grade here, but 8th grade, it's pretty much the same stuff. So when you open up your folder, you're going to want to go to resources here on the left. And when you go to resources, there we go. You're going to see a bunch of different folders. And really the work that Liz and I did was focused in 3 areas: course information, teacher resources, and then instructional units and modules. The rest of these folders will be populated by information and support from the district. So course information, we'll go ahead since it's at the top, has both student and parent resources. The student resource that's here is simply just a link to their textbook login. We couldn't come up with any other student resources in our 15 hours. If you have some student resources that you would like added, please let us know. Parent resources, we gave parents links to, of course, the Illinois standards, the C3 framework. And you'll notice for both grade levels, there's a syllabus that has been created to reflect the recommendations for curriculum this year. And then there's a link to the Discovery Education where their child can log into the textbook. So those are the resources in course information. If we go back to all of the resources here, teacher resources are really is really where the bulk of the work that we did for 7th and 8th grade is located, and core resources is where you want to go. You're going to notice at both 7th and 8th grade there is a curriculum proposal that we did give to your CDT members to get some feedback on. Basically, we know that we're looking at unpredictable instructional time because we don't quite know how much time we're going to have with the kids. Also, since we will probably be asked to think about focusing on essential standards and emphasizing content that fits those and de-emphasizing content that doesn't, it made sense to try to have at least some draft plan in place as the year started so that students from both schools would be able to have a clearer background moving forward. And finally, we want to make sure that we have time to really support our students with their SEL needs without feeling the pressure to cover a curriculum. So both 7th and 8th grade have a revised unit structure, and it's sitting here. And it's a recommendation. If you and your PLC feel that you need to do something different, then that by all means do that. But this was just meant to be supportive and a proposal to kind of start your thinking. The 7th grade social studies syllabus and the 8th grade social studies syllabus that you'll see in the 8th grade folder are the same that's posted in the parent one, and it's based on this curriculum proposal. We went through and identified essential inquiry standards. Again, given that we're looking at a variety of instructional challenges, it seemed useful to identify standards that were linking us across grade levels and that would be the same. These learning targets, these learning standards met our district's 3 criteria for being deemed essential. And I pulled those criteria from the MTSS document. And so these standards have endurance, that we return to them again and again. They have leverage in that they can cross curricular areas and be useful in other content areas. And they are readiness standards because we build on these to make sure that kids are ready for future learning. So as you look through these are the targets that we thought would be most essential for us to focus on with regard to inquiry as we go through the school year. Please note that you're not going to address all these targets in all the units, and those are developed from the Illinois State Standards for Inquiry. So that is a resource you have available to you. Then we went through by unit, and we took the learning targets that were posted on the curriculum website for social studies and categorized them according to the 3 possible categories that our district uses. So here are the criteria for each learning target. There's the endurance, the leverage, and the readiness. And our district has 3 ratings. One is essential, one is important. And then the third one, the district calls nice to know. Based on feedback, we kind of talked about maybe it's helpful background. So as we went through the learning targets, we classified them according to the 3 criteria and came to this conclusion rating at the end. Again, if your PLC looks at this and says, well, wait a minute, we don't think that's essential, or we think this is essential, those things can certainly be revised as we move forward, but it was meant to give you a draft to work from so that you don't have to start out doing all this thinking on your own. The next resource is an inquiry template that 8th grade at Thompson used last year to help maybe structure some of the inquiries as you move forward, so that there is a consistent format and that you don't, again, have to create. You can certainly make a copy of this and change it to meet the needs of your curriculum and, of course, your students. Next, last summer, Jessica Beauchamp and Kathy Cattell and I worked on a key inquiry skills rubric as part of our curriculum work, and I thought it would be helpful if we all had a rubric that we could go to. Again, this is just to help get you started. If you need to shift part of it so that it is more applicable to your situation and your students, please do that. But again, this is meant as a starting place, as a draft to support you as we look at really trying to focus on inquiry this year with our students. And last but not least, there's a list of helpful teacher resource links that you have. And these are pulled from a lot of our curriculum work in the past few years. You're going to see some familiar sites here. The information literacy links are from Mary Ellen Daniels, who we worked with last summer. So I thought those were some really great sources. And hopefully these support you as we move forward in our new reality. Okay. So as we go back to Schoology, darn it, and we hit the wrong tab, and we look at what is possible here. There is one other folder, and this is where the difference between 7th and 8th grade sits. As we look at 7th grade social studies, and we've looked at the resource folder for course information for parents and students, and we've looked at the teacher resource folder. Then there is a folder for instructional units and modules. And 7th grade, you're going to notice Liz was able to do this work. She pulled over the key curriculum information from our website and put it here in folders according to our regular curriculum. 8th grade, I wasn't able to get this done, but when you go into the instructional units modules, you're going to see a link to the curriculum website that we've been using the past year or two. And so you'll still be able to access this information. It's just not laid out as nicely as it is in 7th grade. Sorry, 8th grade, I ran out of time. So that's just an overview of the different resources that you have available to you as we begin this very challenging and different school year. Please let me or Liz know if we can be of any help to you, if you have questions or you need other support with our thinking. And good luck this year. Thanks.